I have ran 11 marathons, and I remember all the mistakes and the overthinking. And I forgot the biggest lesson of them all, which I will get to later in this video. I'm Coach Greg, this is Running Shoe, and if you're getting ready to run your first marathon, here are 7 tips that I wish someone had told me. Tip number 1. Don't get caught up in all of the excitement too much, and don't feel like you can allow the adrenaline to push you through. This isn't a 1 mile race or a 2 mile race, or heck, even like a 5K or 10K where the adrenaline can pull you along. You cannot start too fast, because unlike those other races, it might add a couple minutes onto the suffering. You could be talking about 30 minutes, an extra hour, an extra 15 minutes, because nobody wins by mile 3, or heck, even by mile 20. Tip number 2. This is the exact opposite of what I just said, and you don't want to be too fearful about tip number 1. You don't want to go out too slow. You're going to be out there for hours on end. It's basically the difference between staying on your feet for an hour and a half versus staying on your feet for 3 hours. This is what practicing and the training is for, is to figure out what your marathon pace is going to be. Because this race is about energy and time management. Tip number 3. This is probably the second biggest mistake that I made in my first marathon. I broke everything up into basically 6-mile chunks, where I would run 2 miles hard, 4 miles easy. I do that 4 times. I'm at 24 miles. I'm pretty much done. It all made sense to me at the time. But what I really should have done is actually just accept that it's a long race and to be okay with that. 26 miles is a long freaking distance. My strategy ended up making me feel even more miserable, and I had to walk during my first marathon. If someone had just said, look, take it 1 mile at a time, enjoy what you have, and just know that you are going to be out there for a while, don't be intimidated by the distance, it probably would have helped me a lot. Because there's no mental hack, no special trick to figure it out. You just have to accept the 26.2 miles. Tip number 4. During my 10th marathon, there was somebody in the crowd who had a little cardboard box hanging on a fishing pole, but it wasn't any cardboard box. This was one of those Super Mario Brothers like question mark boxes. And as I was seeing it in the distance, everybody else was kind of just ignoring it. And I thought to myself, well, why? It seems fun to like jump up and hit it. And that's exactly what I did. I wasn't worried about what my cadence was or my stride or I got off so much. I didn't care about any of that in the moment, because afterwards I was relaxed, and I feel like it actually helped my mental state overall. Because one of the things we kind of forget when we get into big races and we build something up so much and we want like that PR so badly is we forget to just have fun. Like, be your goofy self. If that involves hitting a Mario power box, or high-fiving the crowd, or I don't know, making faces to the photographers, or maybe your idea of fun is to be really serious. The point is, we're doing this because we want to enjoy ourselves and to have a good time. So just do that. You know, you could even take the shot of Fireball at mile 20. Or actually, probably don't. Probably a bad idea. Because we aren't doing this for money. We're doing this for fun. Tip number 5. If anybody comes to you and says you have to hit a particular weekly mileage in order to just run a marathon, chances are they're probably wrong. Even if it's me. Because remember, I only give mileage tips out if I feel like somebody has a particular timed goal. Because anything between 50 and 70 miles a week is great if you're experienced and you have a particular goal in mind. But if you're brand new, don't sweat it. Just make sure you're running consistently, and make sure that you're at least getting 1 long run in a week, whether that long run is 12 miles or 18 miles. If you're able to do any of that mileage, you'll be able to run a marathon, because the right number is whatever helps you cross that finish line. Tip number 6. When you're doing this, even though I just said that it's a long race, it might fly by faster than you imagine, and then the moment is over. And you wonder to yourself, what the heck just happened? You get excited by the crowd, you get excited by the atmosphere, you get excited by the weird person announcing all the finishers as they cross. And you just kind of forget to enjoy the moment. Don't let the hype get to your head. And certainly don't let a GPS watch steal that experience by paying too much attention to whatever your pace is supposed to be. Because you only get one first marathon. Enjoy it. Tip number 7. One of the biggest mistakes I made in my first marathon was I didn't really consume anything except at the aid stations, and even then I only took like water and some Gatorade. Bad idea. Your body is consuming and using a bunch of energy and calories and sugars during the race. And the smart thing to do is to actually try to replenish that, or at least slow down the depletion of all that. My recommendation is always eat fuel often and early in the race. It'll pay off later on. What does that look like? Generally, you want to get anywhere between 60 to 90 grams of carbs per hour. For me, I like to take that from shot blocks and a Gatorade water mixture. For others, it might look like those goos that because they enjoy the feeling of it sticking to the roof of your mouth and making all your spit sticky and But if that's you, that's great. Because the point is, if you start fueling when you are feeling tired, it's already too late and the hay is already in the barn at that point. But that was for my first marathon. If you want to know exactly what all the work ends up paying off and how fast anybody can actually get to, check out this video right up here where I go through that story.